There we go. Last time I recorded, it didn't record, so I'm hoping it works this time.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for jumping on, Erica. For those of you that weren't able to make the call, I just told Erica I'm gonna keep this short and hopefully informative, but I'm gonna cover a lot more in detail on our team call on Thursday about how to build your team. So I'm not going to touch too deeply on that tonight, just because I'm going to do that on Thursday as well. So a couple of these things might be repeats, but I think they're worth repeating just because it's super important to what we do. So the main reason why I wanted to have this call is because I remember when I first hit Emerald, I was like, yes, I did it. And then I was like, oh wait, now what do I do? So I think it's really, really important to just kind of have some steps to take to keep pushing in the business and have some goals to reach. So I just want to share a couple of things that have been helpful for me. Let me just turn this off really fast so it's not dinging while we're chatting. So the first thing that I want to share with you is that I know that it kind of seems probably right now to you that diamond seems unattainable. And I remember feeling that way. And I have to tell you that it's totally doable. It's kind of systematic in the way that you do it, and I know that you can all do it. It's just a matter of making push goals to get there. So what do I mean by a push goal? So a push goal is something where you set a date you set a goal, and then you set the date that you want to get there, and you make action steps for how you're going to do it. So what I want to encourage you all to do, since you all are Emerald coaches that I'm going to send this message to, I want to encourage you to really, if diamond is something you really, really want, I want you to take a step of faith, and I want you to put a date on it. So let's say, for example, that you look at the calendar and 6 weeks from now you say, I want to be diamond. This is what I did, and it was really, really scary to do because I was afraid of not meeting it. And let me tell you, up till a week before I hit diamond, I didn't think I was going to make my push goal, and I hit it, I think, a few days before the goal that I set. So there's power in creating these push goals. So create a push goal of when you want to hit diamond and make steps for how to get there. Okay, so I remember one of my coaches saying that to me, make goals for how to get there. Well, what kind of goals do you set? How do you do this, right? So part of it is, taking part in every training that you possibly can, because this is going to help you grow and it's going to give you ideas and tips. So I have 5 main things that I want to share with you very quickly as you kind of set these push goals to head towards diamond, which I think you all can do a lot easier than you probably think you can at this point. So the first thing is number 1, you need to shoot for hitting Emerald every single month. So what do I mean by that? What that means is you need to be adding at least 2 coaches to your team every single month to secure your Emerald spot and keep building towards diamond. So the thing is, right now, if you only have 1 coach on your left leg and 1 coach on your right leg, if one of those coaches happen to go inactive, then you're going to lose your Emerald status. So you want to keep building your team and accruing volume as you build your team so that you can create a team underneath you and therefore build your business. So how do you shoot for being Emerald every single month? Well, the first thing is that you have to start sharing the business opportunity with people. And I remember thinking this sounded very intimidating, and I was like, I don't even know how to do that. But what I want you to think about making it one of your goals in the midst, like a small push goal in the midst of your push goal towards diamond. I want you to think about making it a goal to post 2 to 3 times a week about coaching, presenting the business opportunity. This doesn't mean that you say, I'm a Beachbody coach, come do what I do. But share about something that's happened to you as a result of being a coach. Maybe it's someone that you met, one of your challengers that has encouraged you, and how that's encouraged you emotionally or mentally, or how it's pushed you to hit your physical goals. Post about, even if it's something small, like, hey, Beachbody helped me fill up my gas tank this week, and that's huge. It used to be tight, something like that. Or Beachbody helped me put $50 in savings towards moving to this place that I want to move. Okay, find ways with a creative picture to share the business opportunity 2 to 3 times a week. And then maybe out of one of those posts, invite people if they want to join you. So that's one tangible way. And that will help people get interested in the business. The other way is to plug into pages that have to do with plug into the team pages and trainings that have to do with this. So I think there should be a Push to Diamond training coming up soon, either Team Fired Up or Team Hard Hitters, and I want to encourage each of you to do it because that really helped me hit my diamond goal when I wanted to hit it. So that's one thing. And as far as for shooting for Emerald every month, I'm going to talk more about this on Thursday. But if you have a family or a spouse that you or a significant other, it is always beneficial to sign them up underneath you. Why? Because what happens is as you start building your team, you're going to be getting volume from your team, which therefore turns into team cycle bonuses. And therefore, anything that your spouse makes, anybody that signs up underneath your spouse, you're going to be accruing volume from them, which will therefore benefit you in the long run with the team cycle bonuses. I'm going to talk more about that on Thursday because I feel like that's something that was like a foreign language to me for a long time. So you can, when you jump on the call on Thursday, you'll be able to understand a little bit more about that. Okay, so number 2, the next thing that I want to encourage a lot of you to do after, number 1, shoot for being Emerald every single month, adding coaches to your team. Number 2, stop apologizing and talk in confidence. Okay, what do I mean by this? You have a gift to give people. Okay, think about all the things that Beachbody has done for you. That's not a product, that's a gift. Okay, so don't think about it in terms of how you make a sale, but think about how can I help this person? And I promise you, when you do that and you start talking in confidence in that way about the product and not apologizing for cost or anything else, what you're going to see is that people react to that confidence. When they see that in you, then they're going to want to be a part of that. When you share your story, they're going to want to be a part of that. So that's number 2. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I just finished.
Yeah.
No, that was a tough workout.
Oh, yeah. Which one were you doing?
Doubles, upper, and cardio.
You're awesome.
Thanks. Sorry I'm late.
No, you're totally okay. We're just kind of getting started. So
okay, cool.
And I'm recording it, so you can listen to the recording for the first part of it too. So
awesome. Thank you. Sorry. Keep going. Don't hold up to me.
No, you're totally fine. So we're kind of talking about now that you're Emerald, kind of what's next. So ways to kind of push towards that goal of being Diamond and growing your business. So because what I was sharing was that it's easy to kind of feel lost once you get to this point because you're like, what do I do next? So these are just some kind of things to kind of help you continue to build your business. So number 1 was shoot for being Emerald every single month, which we talked about. And then number 2 was stop apologizing and talk in confidence. And number 3 is to continue to focus on your story. Okay, continue to focus on your story. I think that this is something that it's probably one of the hardest parts. Okay, in some ways it's the easiest, in some ways it's the hardest. We all love Beachbody products, right? So it's easy to be a product of the product in some ways, okay? But what we need to continue to do is to continue to share our stories. I think that all of you are actually very good at this, like you're continuing to share it, but continue to take steps of faith in sharing your story. So what people want to see is they want to see a person. They don't want to see a product. They want to see life change. They don't want to necessarily see a product. They want to see that the product has helped life change, but they want to see what it's done for you. So I think sometimes when we get to this point, when we get to Emerald and we've hit this goal, it's like, okay, I can relax. No, keep doing what you were doing before to build momentum to get to Emerald. Keep doing those little things daily and sharing your story. And that's really what's going to help you bring people into your network. My husband said something today that was really interesting because I was kind of talking to him about just how this all works and kind of my own story. I'm getting ready Kelly asked me to do the training for hard hitters on the 19th. And so I'm going to be doing a training for the coaches about like basically what I've been doing and how it's happened. And I was sharing with my husband that really what I've been doing is just sharing my story. And he said something that really hit me. And he said, you know what? you're not selling a product. What you've done is you're selling a life change. So the product has been a byproduct of the life change, but it's what's really been significant is that your life has completely been changed. So I have never once felt like a salesperson in this business. I have never once felt like that. And I think that's because I kept my focus on sharing and focusing on my story instead of actually on the product. Now, don't get me wrong. I am the biggest fan in the world of the 21 Day Fix. It has totally changed my life. It's changed the way that I've looked at food, changed the way that I've looked at my body. It's changed my relationship with all of those things. But, and that's a tool, but I view it as just a tool for life change, not necessarily the end all. So do I let people in my group that already have the 21 Day Fix? Yes, I do. I let them in there, even though it doesn't benefit me, because in the long run, what happens is that as I share my story, especially about maybe they're not doing Shakeology, but as I share my story and how Shakeology has helped me in my challenge groups, and they see other people using it and how it's changing them and helping them in their process, then they come alongside. So if you just keep sharing and you come from a heart of helping people and sharing your story, I really think that will continue to help you grow towards your goal of diamond. Okay, so that's number 3, is focus on your story. Number 4 is to plug into any and every push group that you possibly can. So I kind of touched on that earlier. So hopefully they'll be doing a push to diamond training. If you guys are open to it and want to, I would be open to doing a push group within Team Elevate, which would be something basically that for 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks, what we would do is I would create a separate group outside of Team Elevate. And what we would do is we would just check in every day with what we did for our power hour, and we'd see the growth over those 4 weeks. I'm in one right now, and I've only been doing it for a couple of days, and it's been so good so far because I realized, oh man, I haven't necessarily been focusing in on the right things. So I sat down, for example, in this push group, and I was like, you know what? I'm not seeing a lot. I hadn't realized it, but I'm not seeing a lot of growth on my Instagram. So yesterday I signed up for Instagress, and oh my gosh, in one day, I just by being a part of this group and getting other ideas, I grew in 10 followers just since yesterday by plugging in Instagress on Instagram. So it's a great resource. So if anybody's interested in doing a push group like that, I'd be happy to host one for those of you that are interested. So that's number 4, plug into push groups and all that stuff. And number 5, I know you hear this all the time, and I'm with you because I have ignored it for a long time and I'm not doing it anymore. But number 5 is do your personal development. Okay. It is so important because what happens when you get to Emerald is there's kind of this like, oh, I did it. And then you look at Diamond and like I said earlier, you feel like it's kind of unattainable. But it is attainable. And the reason why it may start to feel like it's so far off is because you don't have your blinders on and you're not keeping your head in the right place. So my encouragement to you is to get your head into personal development and start seeing, it'll help you see the big picture instead of being swamped in the moment with discouragement or with this is seeming far off, but it'll help you focus on growth instead of the way that you are feeling in the moment. So do personal development. I've been reading a book called The 10 Times Rule. It's been really good in a lot of ways. It's kind of helped me think bigger. And basically the concept of it is that if you want to be successful, you got to be willing to do 10 times more work than the person next to you and put in 10 times more time. Well, for me, I was like, I don't have the time to put in. I only have this amount of time a day because I'm a mama and that's my focus. But it has made me realize that I need to be using that time, that focus time that I have, and using it 10 times more effectively. So I've taken that away, and that's really helped my business grow. Another one that I would highly recommend to you is called The Big Leap. It's another one. There were parts of it that I really, really liked, parts of it that I was like, meh, not so much for me. But there were the things that I really took away from it were really, really good. That's a good one. The Compound Effect, if you have not read it, is an excellent book to take the next step forward. Another one, Go Pro, is a great book to really help you get in the mindset of thinking bigger and pushing towards those goals. Speaking of push goals, another one that I highly, 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 highly recommend, probably even above the rest of these, is Chalene Johnson's book called Push. And, does anybody, I was not even touching my phone and Siri just came on and was recording me. Isn't that weird? Does that ever happen to anybody else? Sorry. I'm going to turn my phone totally off. So it's Chalene Johnson's book, Push, and it helps you. It would be really helpful for those of you that are really wanting to set goals to push in your business, because it helps you kind of lay out how to do that. And it's not just for business goals, it's for personal goals. And that's really helped me too, because I'm not just a business person. Like I said, I'm a mama and I'm a wife and all those things. So I really, really, really recommend that one to help you kind of think about what you want in life, helps you kind of clarify things. So that's one that I highly recommend. So that's pretty much all that I have for you right now. But again, I'm just going to recap. Number 1 is shoot for being emerald every single month. And like I said, we're going to talk more about what the team cycle bonuses mean and all that stuff means when you grow your business on Thursday in our Team Elevate call. And I touched on that briefly about what I mean by shooting for emerald every single month. Number 2, stop apologizing and talking confidence. Number 3, focus on your story. Number 4, plug into push groups. And number 5, personal development, personal development, personal development. So those are just some things to help you in this stage. And I know each of you can do it, because I know it's doable. I did it. And once you hit it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I can do that. One last thing, just in case you don't understand, which I think most of you do. If you want to shoot for diamond, okay, diamond means that you have 4 coaches. 4 coaches on each leg. Okay. So, and one of those coaches on each leg has to be emerald, which means they have to have 2 coaches underneath them, 2 active coaches underneath them. So, the way that I first got my first emerald coach on one of my legs was I had my husband on this side, and I signed up 2 discount coaches underneath him. And so he had, he got to emerald that way, and it benefited me and helped me get to diamond. So since then, though, my husband lost his emerald rank. So I'm thankful. That's why I say keep pushing for emerald every single time and keep helping people grow. You don't want to just get comfortable with having, one on each side, because you can lose your rank at any time. And I've been very, very close to losing my diamond rank a couple of times. And that's why I've been working on trying to, build up my sides, because I want to make sure that my business is continuing to grow. So, but like I said, on Thursday, I'll talk about how having someone else in your family, your spouse, significant other, or mom or dad, whoever it is, having them and running their account is really beneficial. But I'll talk about that on Thursday. So I hope this was helpful. And does anybody have any questions or about anything about this whole realm of anything?
So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about, I think we talked a little bit, Margot, about it, just struggling with a not so warm market. Mm-hmm. So I know you said to just increase the number of ads on my social media accounts, mm-hmm. which I have. And I got a pretty good response to a post that I had today. Uh-huh. But just, can you speak a little bit more to what other tricks or tactics? How cold can I go insofar as hey, stranger, you're working out. I have a really great program for you.
Yeah.
Awkward. You have no idea who I am.
I know, right? No, it's hard to figure out kind of the balance, but yeah. So my biggest thing is, I get coaches messaging me all the time saying, I don't understand how you're getting so many points every single month. And part of it, honestly, is because I know I have a very large network. So, and I've always been kind of a natural networker. Well, so what I'm trying to say is, as you build your network, you will continue to draw people into your challenge group. So that's why it's super important that you're adding people every single day. So kind of what I shared before, if you guys aren't doing it, you need to be adding at least 3 people a day on Facebook. How do you do this? Okay, the easiest way to do it for me, here, let me just show you. This is how I do it, just because I know it could be kind of confusing. Let me share my screen with you here. Hold on just a second. Just in case somebody doesn't know how to do this. Okay, so I go to my Facebook. Okay, and what I do is, let's say, okay, so this person is somebody in my challenge group. So I click on her name, okay, and then what I do is I go to friends. And then, oh, okay, sometimes it does this. Okay, let me go back to somebody else. Okay, this person. I can't believe I'm still friends with this person, actually. Okay, so then I go to friends, okay? And right here under friends, if you see where it says more, I click on more, and then I go to people you may know, okay? So, okay, so here, right here. So, this is somebody that I knew in high school. I didn't know her very well, but I knew her well enough that she'd recognize my name. So I add a friend. This girl, I also went to church camp with her. I remember her. Great person to add. This person, let's see. I don't recognize her so much. So I'm going to skip that one. And her, Candace Wilkinson. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yes, I remember her. So I'm going to add her. So look, easy. Took me, 2 minutes? And I added 3 people to my network right there. So that's one way that you can do it, that you can add people to your market. Another way that I do it, let's see. So let's go onto my Facebook page. And okay, so here, lots of 2s in my day today. This is one of my posts, 22-minute hardcore, core 2, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then my brother made some sort of rude comment, so I'm just not going to go there. But then, so look, okay, all of you, we're friends here, okay? These people have been in my challenge group, and I'm looking for someone that maybe I haven't interacted with much, okay? Okay, so this girl right here, okay, I would look at that. This is just giving you ideas, Erica, to kind of, like you were asking for. So what I would do later is I would look here and I would say, okay, I haven't touched base with her in a long time. So what I would do is I would send her a hey girl message and say, hey, okay, your daughter is so cute, first of all. Second of all, are you living in Denver because you have a Denver Broncos shirt on? And that's awesome. I just moved to Colorado not too long ago. What are you doing here? Okay. And that's how I start a conversation with her, and I go back and forth. And then eventually what happens is, that leads into a conversation about Beachbody, or, like usually if you say, hey, what are you doing? Tell me a little bit about you. Then that'll lead into a conversation about, oh, this is what I'm doing. Okay. So that's one way that I really have kind of continue to grow my market. Another way to do it, I may have talked about this before, but when you make your posts, go into the people who have liked your post, even if they have just liked it and haven't commented, and you can say, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. It really means a lot to me. I know it may not seem like much to you, but to me it was a huge gesture for you to take time to do that because I've worked so hard. Thanks again for supporting me and taking time to do that. That's one way. Another way is to, let's see, you could, I've been experimenting with my fitness page. I wouldn't recommend starting a fitness page, but you could send out, you could send out messages. Oh, you know what some people do? I haven't done this yet, but I saw someone do this the other day, and actually someone sent one to my husband, was creating an event. Okay, on Facebook, which anybody can do, sending it out to a bunch of your friends on Facebook and basically inviting them to your challenge group that's starting in a few days or in a week or whatever. And basically you tell a little bit about what it's about, and then you make options for like interested in more information, yes, no, or whatever. And then that's another way to kind of get people engaged. As far as people who are active on Facebook already and maybe working out, I think it'd be, I think it'd be totally, if someone expresses interest in eating better or health, to message them and say, hey, I noticed you were talking about, about feeling depressed and how that's been hard for you. And I've been there. I know I felt those feelings. And I would love to share with you, if you're ever open to it, about what has really helped me. Okay, you don't even have to message Beachbody, but just say, if you're ever interested, I'd love to share with you. So just finding ways to reach out to people. Some people I know cold message, people, and say, hey, I see you're working out. Would you ever be interested in trying this program? I think it takes a lot of guts to do that, and I think that's awesome. I've only done it a couple times because I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I think it's awesome if you want to do that too. So those are some options. Is that helpful at all?
Yes, very. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, with this business, slow and steady really does win the race. And I almost feel like I'm a really bad example for people who are wanting to just start out, because it's not been typical for most people to take off as big as, like, pull as big in numbers as I have in the beginning of coaching. And why is that? Because most people are building their network. Okay. And so that's why it's so important to add people to your network every single day, because you're going to get there too. It just takes a little bit longer to build up that momentum. I've just had so many different networks, and I already had a pretty large friend list before I started. So I think that's why I've had such a huge warm market, but I know that's going to grow cold very soon. It's already been a slower month for me. So.
Okay. Just one more quick question.
Yeah.
Since you become Emerald, you get those leads from Beachbody. How aggressive can you be with those? And what if all of them are like, do not communicate, do not contact?
I know that's kind of tricky, because I guess apparently on the website, there's a place to put do not contact, but a lot of people don't know that they actually put do not contact. So, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of tricky, but if they don't put do not contact, I send all of my leads an email, and I can send that email to you that I sent to them. And it's just very basic. It just says, hi, my name is Margot. You may not have known you had a coach, but hi, it's me. And I would love to help you. I run monthly challenge groups. Or let's say that they signed up for Shakeology. And then I would tweak it to say, hey, I saw you ordered the chocolate vegan Shakeology. I love Shakeology. This is what it's done for me. Just very brief. This is what a few things that it's done for me. And here's my favorite recipe. And then I list the recipe. And so it's just a way to reach out and connect with them. And then that makes them feel more connected to you. I have to be honest, 90% of people who I have messaged have never messaged me back. But a lot of them I've retained. They still keep ordering stuff and haven't switched to anybody else. So I don't know how much of that helps. But that is something that I do reach out to my free leads. And like I said, I'm happy to send that email out to you guys after this. So, and the other thing is, when you hit SC5, like let's say if you hit SC5 last month, then basically what that means is that qualifies you for the leads. If you hit SC5 in April, then it qualifies you for leads in May. So, and when you hit SC10 in a month, then the next month you are eligible for Success Club point leads too, which is awesome. So you can I have had several times when I've had random points show up in my system because I had hit SC10 the month before, and then I got these free leads and challenge pack points.
So if the free lead purchases a challenge pack, those points, you get points for that. That's how it goes? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's only for their second order.
Oh, I see.
So the first time you don't make commission off of it. But I think once you hit SC10, I think you would get the points. I think if you have hit SC10, I think you do get I'll have to check into that, how that works, but I'm pretty sure I'm not sure if you hit SC10 the month before, then the next month you get the points for people that sign up, or if you have to hit SC10 in the that current month to be able to get the points applied. I'll check in on that and I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm super excited for you guys, and I'm always here. I'm a resource for you. So feel free to reach out, contact me if you have any questions. I know that it's slow. I know that the start is slow, but I promise you that your persistence will pay off. And I'm going to say it again. I've said it a million times, but remember, there's a 30 to 60 day lag time in this business. So what you're doing today really does count for the future. So if you're not putting in your power hour today, it's going to affect you a month from now. So just keep plugging away and adding to your network. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys. So, all right. Well, have a good night. Thanks for jumping on, you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Bye.